Welcome to the Tending Our Nets podcast, where we believe in the gospel of Jesus Christ. We encourage everyone to learn more, and we work to equip believers to share their faith with everyone they know.
Hello and welcome to the Tending Our Nets podcast. My name is Joshua Sherman and I am your host here. Last time we talked a bit about the Romans Road approach to laying out the gospel for people. This is an approach that's very useful for street evangelism. It's condensed, and that makes it easy to kind of lay out, these are the points that you really need to understand, the things you need to accept and do in order to be saved. But there are a lot of things missing from that gospel. And what I want to do today is just tell you how I see that version of the gospel kind of fitting in to what we're going to talk about, or you could say what we're going to talk about fitting in with that. How do they fit together? Am I talking about a totally different gospel? Am I talking about something where the Romans Road approach is really irrelevant? What am I doing here, right? It's a good question because I don't want people to become, to kind of turned away from what we're trying to accomplish here at Tending Our Nets. The way I like to describe this is that really what we're looking at is something you might illustrate with a fulcrum and a lever. So you remember, if you want to move something that's heavy, one of the ways you can do it is you can, get a lever, a long piece of wood or something, or metal or something like that. But you can't just kind of dig it in there. You need something that you can pull it on, right? You can rotate it around in order to lift that thing that's too heavy for you to lift by yourself. That's, how we actually learned early on as humans to move things that are heavy is with things like fulcrums and levers. If your lever isn't very strong or it isn't long enough, it's not really going to help you very much. If the fulcrum that you have isn't strong enough and it's going to move, or it's too sharp and it breaks the fulcrum, that's not really going to help either. So you need really both of these pieces to work well together. What I would say is I think that this presentation of the gospel, like we see, that's really condensed in something like the Romans Road, the life, the death, and the resurrection, I would include that, of Jesus are the fulcrum. This is what, the kind of the rock that needs to be there in order for anything to be moved, in order for this heaviness of sin and brokenness in the world and in people's lives to be moved, right? That is the core. Without that, you're not going to be able to see any change, right? But I think what we miss with that is we can tend to think of that as the gospel in and of itself and forget just how big the gospel is, because the gospel is not just about God saving individual people. It's not just about him saving you or you and me. It's also about God renewing all of creation, right? It's about God accomplishing what he started when he created Eden and Adam and Eve, right? That was just the beginning. That was not global. Where we are going, right, is humanity serving God in a global Eden, in the new heavens and the new earth, where we are in his presence in the new Jerusalem, right? This is where we are going. This is what God is accomplishing. And really, it is kind of back to the beginning, right? But it's bigger and it's better than the beginning was, because it's the eventual full accomplishment of what God started in the Garden of Eden. All right. So if God intends to do more than just save individuals, how is he going to do that, right? Well, you think about a lever, the length of a lever and the strength of a lever is a really good illustration of power, right? And so you think about the gospel of Jesus Christ, the rock on which we stand, the life, the death, and the resurrection of Jesus. I think when we focus so much on that, we can forget just how powerful God is. And we can forget that what Jesus did has implications for all of creation and for all people that come to him in faith. Okay? And so what we're here to do is to discuss not just that fulcrum, not just that rock, not just the core, the life, death, and resurrection of Jesus, but also to see what the implications of that are around us in the world, right? The renewal of creation, the inbreaking of the kingdom of God. What does this mean for us today? What will it mean for creation when everything is renewed, right? That's what I want us to start exploring. So next week, we're going to be talking about the big picture gospel, and we're just going to keep kind of going through this and diving into this, and really looking forward to that and to discussing that together. We have discussion groups online, and if you have any questions, feel free to shout out, and I will do what I can. I'll probably start inserting Q&A episodes here and there, just in case people have questions or want to clarify something that I've gone over in a previous episode. So once again, thank you for being here. Like, share, write reviews, all those things, subscribe. They all help on YouTube and in podcasts and various platforms. So thank you, and God bless. You've been listening to the Tending Our Nets podcast. If you like what you hear, check us out at the Raven Creek Social Club and by searching for us on social media via Tending Our Nets. Raise us up to bear your